Okay, awkward at best. Here's the new tattoo on my fat back. I might erase this depending upon how bad that looks. Um, just really quick, I wanted to come on, show you the new tattoo. It's been almost a week, and it's a little itchy, but it's good. And I also wanted to just mention something I've been thinking about on and off really for a long time since we got the age that uh, people that we know have loved ones that pass away. And also, I have a couple of friends who have children that have special needs and issues. And it always comes back to, for me, my ineptitude with words and never knowing what to say. So, I happened to read this amazing article the other day, and I really wanted you to just hear it. Bear with the first paragraph. It's written by a woman named Mary Jo Hughes, and it's called The Buffer Zone, and it's about words and their power, which is really a lot of the reason why I started to make videos, was so that I can get better with words and express myself better. So, damn dog. Love him. So it starts out, it's just a quick article, but it's brilliant. So it starts out, last spring, 2 weeks before the end of the semester, my husband of nearly 40 years died, suddenly, without warning. In the days and weeks that followed, countless friends sent messages, many containing the observations that words could not express what they wished to say, or what they imagined I was feeling. That was true. Grief, as a former student wrote, is at once completely universal and intensely private, a world of the unsayable. I began to wonder what, if anything, bridges that gap between the soul's profound solitude and the human community. The simple answer is words and the language and arts they create. Despite their frequent stammering ineptitude, they have the power to span the abyss. Words form the foundation of human solidarity. Some of the grimmest or most off-the-wall things people said to me after my husband's death helped me the most. One friend recalled for me a poem in which the poet recounted coming across a photograph of his dead wife when least expecting it. He described the experience as like suddenly coming upon a severed hand. What a wrenching image, and, moreover, what a devastating thing for a friend to share. Yet its very brutality was strangely comforting, and months later I cannot get it out of my mind. This poet, whose name I do not even know, must have experienced some particle of what I feel. A severed hand reaches across the distance between us and keeps me feeling part of the human family. How is it something a person says or writes can be completely disjunctive or hilariously out of left field, or freighted with untranslatable meaning, and still strike a chord in the soul of another? Maybe language is a sort of treacherous threshold that connects different realities. The history of literature is filled with imperfect or failed attempts at crossing that threshold. Yet these efforts illustrate how language, even when it seems to miss the mark, can nonetheless expand meaning and bring us closer together. Hamlet, in a play which language plays a starring role, is a prime example. Words are a kind of veil at Elsinore, shrouding thoughts or misleading people. They cause confusion. They deflect suspicion. Hamlet pretends to be mad in order to seek the truth. He devises a play to find out whether the king killed his father. It is not the truth that catches the culprit. It's a form of trickery that holds, as Hamlet put it, a mirror up to nature. In the graveyard scene, Hamlet asks the gravedigger whose grave he is digging, and the gravedigger responds, "Mine, sir." The gravedigger's claim to the grave, which in truth was dug for Ophelia, is a cunning deception that makes us realize that the gravedigger is, in one true sense, digging his own grave, and that we, by extension, are steadily doing likewise. Through a tragicomic miscommunication, we find ourselves in communion with all humanity. The play's double entendres, its ambiguities, both obscure and expand meaning, ironically revealing hidden realities. Another work that considers the inadequacies of language is Virginia Woolf's 1927 novel, To the Lighthouse. Woolf explores the problem of communication, how to reconcile what cannot be put into words with the desire to say something, through the character of Lily Briscoe, a guest of the Ramsay family and a painter who struggles to communicate in her art the essence of what she sees. What was the spirit in her, Lily wonders as she tries to capture the beloved matriarch, Mrs. Ramsay. Lily was not attempting to paint Mrs. Ramsay's outward form, but her inner being. Such a task, however, is nearly always, in the words of T.S. Eliot, arrayed on the inarticulate, with shabby equipment, always deteriorating, and the general mess of imprecision of feeling. Woolf makes this point explicitly in the novel after Mrs. Ramsay has died and 10 years have passed. Lily continues to struggle with her memory of Mrs. Ramsay and her need to say something about it, but words fluttered sideways and struck the object inches too low. That's great. Words flutter sideways. We cannot overcome the absolute incapacity of language to plumb the depths of one's experience. And yet the novel does at least express that inaccessibility. With all its limitations, language abides as connective tissue, bringing us together, offering some understanding of the other. Perhaps we should consider all forms of language as what the psychoanalytic thinker D.W. Winnicott called transitional objects, the term he used to describe the infant's first not-me possession, the favored blanket or teddy bear. Such an object forms an essential link between child and world. The child does not see this teddy bear as part of him or herself, nor does the toy belong fully in the child's mind to external reality. It is neither outside the infant's control like the beloved caregiver, nor under full control like something wholly imaginary. It is in the dominion of the illusory, existing somewhere between the subjective and objective worlds, buffering the infant's journey from one to the other. This intermediate area, Winnicott wrote, constitutes the germ of the arts and religion. We might consider the creations of language, and by extension the fruits of all the arts, as transitional objects. They emerge from an in-between space between subjectivity and objectivity, self and other. Forged by the bonds of love and needs that bind people together, they prompt even the youngest among us to acts of imagination and creativity that reach across the gulf between solitary souls. Oh, I just think that that's the most brilliant little article I have ever read. And for those of us like me who have trouble expressing themselves in times of trauma, my friends have told me with special needs kids, and I have a friend whose child has Fanconi anemia, not saying something is not good. There's a need to always say something, apparently, and that's where I fall short. So that was so meaningful to me, and I hope it is to you too. And hope you enjoyed my fat back. But I love the new tattoo. It's very colorful. I tried to upload a picture, but I'm like technologically retarded. So there you go. Have a great weekend. Have a great Easter. And I will talk to you guys soon.